Night 6. December 2024. 2 nights until New Year's. This is the 30th. Chill concrete beneath pitch black darkness around, and then voices. Distorted, frantic, whisper piercing through the silence. A cocktail of discomfort jolting me awake from the abyss of my dead-like sleep. In that fleeting moment of total blackness, the bitter truth of last night's mayhem slams into me like a truck. The assault on Elysium, the countless near-final deaths, the absolute chaos of it all. Still, my eyes don't take long to adapt. Scanning the damn cells, I hone in on where the voices are leaking from and spot my cellmate, my partner in the pending doom. Patrick's perched on the few steps leading down into our cell, stuck to the basement door like he's part of it, eavesdropping on the chaos beyond. Looks like I'm in the resident sleeping beauty around here. What's up? You okay? Or listen closely. I tune my ears to the outside, catching only bits of pieces of the fray. You've got a much better shot at eavesdropping from here, Callie. And there's, how would you put it? A shitstorm brewing outside. Think it's gonna bite us in the ass? You tell me. He slides over, freeing up some space for me by the door. I take the hint, leaning in to press my ears against it, fully ready to dive into my own personal vampire audio drama. Khadir.
You bask into your own authority, Elaine. Blissfully ignorant. A damn epitome of what they call us the Ivory Tower.
Tread lightly, Sheriff. You're addressing your superior.
Superior? By what measure? Do you truly see yourself perch above us all, Elaine? Above those who met their final deaths under last night's moon? Pain's gone. Aisling is in torpor. Julia barely slipped through the jaws of that multi-headed beast, and many others found no such luck. This is the heavy toll of your lethargy. Tell me, how many times did I suggest relocating Elysium?
Perhaps we should seek to de-escalate.
Spare me, Arturo. I want to hear it from her.
Khadir!
You've been so detached, you don't even know. Had I not anticipated such a disaster, securing havens and employing safety protocols in advance, where would we stand now?
The tension is like a thick fog creeping onto the door and enveloping both Patrick and me, leaving behind a sour sting in the air.
This is what happens when you neglect to prepare. The dire outcome of inaction when action is crucial.
This disaster wouldn't have happened if you had simply done your job. Had you stayed hidden, heeding my directive instead of meddling with mortal dangers.
A juvenile excuse matched by equally as juvenile assessment. You were warned repeatedly that the mob with their pitchforks and torches wasn't idling the days away. Yet, you ignored the matter and insisted on throwing bodies at the old clan instead of fortifying our lines. Ridiculous.
Old clan. The old clan. What do we mean? What do they mean by the old clan? Are they talking about the antediluvians? Clan of the Hunt. Founders of the original 13 vampire clans, also known as the Third Generation. For the last thousands of years, many kindred assumed the antediluvians were asleep. Only a few believe they continue their struggle in subterfuge, conspiracy, egality behind the scenes of secret history. Yeah. Hunt. Learned. Clanless. Clan of the Beast. Night. Moon. Hidden. Haunted. Clan of Fate. The young ones. Clan of Divas. The Broken Clan, Tremere. The old clan, the Tsimitsi, okay.
Instead of fortifying our lines. Ridiculous. Ever since the debacle with Callahan, you've been unraveling, Elaine, succumbing to stupor bit by bit with your harpy puppeteer blind to your decline.
The harpy puppeteer is, Arturo.
How dare you! Oh, just shut it, Arturo. It's common knowledge. Everyone and their sire's in on it.
A moment of silence depends upon the room. Yeah!
Kadir, the masquerade! Spare me that old refrain. The masquerade ends when the dance floor is engulfed in flames.
And quelling those flames was your responsibility!
My role is to prevent the fires from igniting or to douse it swiftly should it arise. Instead, under your command, I'm just a latecomer to damage control, while you bash your head against the Timothy wall.
You're well aware of our reasons for prioritizing Veritra. We were gaining ground.
Were we, Elaine? Veritra remains unyielding, decimating our envoys, clinging to her ill-gotten domain like a killer whale, unapproachable. We're clueless about her motives and alliances. It's clear she's scheming, executing her plans quietly, yet so far none have tangibly threatened our interest. Does this shadow play really outweigh gunfire on our streets?
Even from distance, I can tell Panar's been thrown for a loop.
Had we paid heed to the purge of the Thin Bloods, to the unaccounted kindreds that, beyond our circles, leads would have surfaced sooner. Larson's destruction was a glaring warning, ignored because you dismissed it as nothing more than a farce. And now the failures regarding the Veritra issue are mine to shoulders?
He scoffed loudly.
4 weeks we've known our true adversary was well organized. That alone should have set the alarm off. But the scale!
He started pacing, rapidly losing his cool.
Curse it, Elaine! We had Aaron Fletcher in our sights 2 full nights ahead. The evidence was compelling. The strategy laid bare. This catastrophe was avoidable.
Fletcher, the very notion sounds ludicrous.
I know, right? But when you really think about it...
The distinct snap, a flare of a light or a igniting cuts through the tension for a momentary dramatic pause.
He's a charismatic millionaire, totally ostracized by the public for his extremist belief. Notorious was spouting the wildest shit. And the rumors about gun running? Spot on, according to what I've dug up. Plus, he's got his hand on top-tier tech, which would certainly help in his obsessive hunt for the kindred. His deep pockets and sheer zealotry are what keeping his whole circus afloat. Ludicrous as it sounds, the pieces align perfectly.
As the court's argument dies down for a brief while, I throw Patrick a confused look. He mirrors it, through he managed to appear a bit more put together. Then a chilling clarity descends upon me. The influential mortal mentioned in the circulatory system documents. He's the head of the hunting group terrorizing New York. Could it be? Holy fuck. Let him say it.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Fletcher's the influential mortal Reynard was in cahoots with. At least I hope that's your line of thought too.
Unfortunately, yes.
Damn! The deeper I dig, the further I dissociate from the person I thought I was. Am I the idiot here, or is this Reynard really the incarnation of a god of deceit?
Either way, I'm gutted.
Just then, a burst of muffled noise breaks the silence, snapping me back to the moment. I press closer to the door, straining me at my ears again.
What you propose, then?
A booming thud signals Khadir's introduction to his fist to some innocent piece of local decor.
There's time for courtesy and a time for heads to roll. I call for the latter. We have to crush this mob, snap their pitchfork, and smother their torches, and for that to happen, Aaron Fletcher must die.
Panard's quiet surrender says it all, a tacit admission of loss. Damn, Patrick nailed it. The tides are shifting, and the new alignment of power is obvious to anyone with a shred of common sense.
Valerie, mobilize our forces. Remind them that caution is paramount. The streets are yet to be cleansed. And reach out to Torque.
Is that why, Khadir? The potential fallout of the Anarchs turning on us seems disproportionate to the gain.
We've skirted around the edges of peace for far too long. I'm not taking chances. Besides, we need to put their allegiance to the test.
Speaking of which, we're currently hosting one in the basement, along with another matter needing attention. I'm sure our mediator would make for a fine messenger too, but we have to sort out the issue of his company.
Enough! You bring them here now. Understood, sir.
I jerk away from the door. Its cold texture slowly burning my hand. Shit! Fuck! Out of nowhere, I feel Patrick's hands on my arm, standing me with what's meant to be a reassuring touch. Not exactly unwelcome, just unexpected. Take it easy, Callie. We'll get through this. No, we won't. Cut the sympathetic crap, or I can't even. Yeah, no, it's over. I'm fucked. Didn't I swear to stick by you? I plan on keeping that promise. All the things we dug up, we've got what it takes to shut them up. Trust me. Just... His words are cuffed up by the screeching of the basement door opening. That goon I ran into my first night outside Elysium pokes his head into the cell.
They're waiting for you upstairs.
His eyes so full of pity, like he's looking at someone already doomed. I sag, completely drained. Patrick gives the goon a nod and heads out. I trail behind, not exactly eager. The remnants of the once formidable Primogen Council stare us down as we approach Kadir. He's not as wild-eyed as he was last night when he went on that rampage, but the intensity's still there. Hell, it's even sharper than the first time I lay my eyes on him. He gives me a look that reeks of judgment. And then, just like that, he snagged his scimitar from the rack. Fuck, 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 fuck!
You're free to leave now, caitiff. I take it you'll linger by the basement door long enough. Inform your barren friend of the course of action.
I intend to, but I would like to see this through. She was my responsibility after all.
Very well.
Oh shit.
As you may have noticed, we're on the clock here, and I have little patience for your charades. So you promised castle's heads on the plate, and yet, here we stand empty-handed. At this juncture, any ravenous head would suffice to lift my spirits.
Failing the blade's edge against my neck is, I'd be shaking if that wouldn't require additional effort on my behalf.
One reason. Give me one good reason not to use it.
Desperate, I glance at Patrick, silently pleading for a lifeline, but it's the shaver gaze that captures mine. Gaze filled with something wild, like a storm of frenzy, and hunger, endless hunger, and, oh! Deception. Fucking deception. Then it all crashes down on me, hard and brutal as a knockout blow. Oh, you sneaky fucks.
You knew.
You knew the whole fucking time! Callie, listen. Christ! How could I have been such an idiot?
He's your rat, young raven.
No, my rat stays. I smack Kadir's blade away from my neck, nicking my wrist in the process. Oddly, I feel nothing but a searing fury. All this bullshit with Praxis, dragging the system into it, the arms dealing, you fuckers were in the loop the entire time, using me to draw Raynor out. Arturo smirks at me like a joke. Julia gives a solitary sarcastic clap. Look at you, playing detective. Kadir looks me over and lowers his weapon a notch.
I suppose there's no point in keeping this charade up, is there, Prince?
Your further attempts to degrade my position are less than welcome. Unfazed, Kadir speaks up again.
Indeed. Our strategy was to draw Castle out to the open to unveil the target of his arm trade. His knack for evading trouble making a challenging quarry. We had a strong suspicion that he, wittingly or unwittingly, armed the mob that despoiled Elysium last night. Given the man's reputation, it's not far-fetched to assume we would deal with the literal devil, but you're closer to him, make of that what you will. Cold fury is the entirety of my response. I'm a loss. About Raynor, about everything. My Jess was right all along. That's when you entered the picture. You choosing the caitiff as your caretaker was just a sweet cherry on top.
I'm so close to losing it. And for what? All for fucking nothing.
Not quite. Your endeavor, though it might not have unfolded as intended, play a crucial role in cornering Aaron Fletcher, Castle notwithstanding. As for the other misdemeanors of your sire, they're now pale in comparison. We've gathered the essential to douse the true inferno before us.
Then why not focus on extinguishing that blaze, Sheriff, and leave the minor irritation as they are? Irritations? Really? Transparency wasn't our forte with her, yet we achieved our aim by leveraging her limitless naivete. I think it's time to release her. I'm about to snap at him when Kadir raises his blade again.
Knowingly or not, she was complicit in Castle's schemes, including those that led to the assault that nearly spelled our end. In my eyes, that constitutes capital punishment.
I didn't. Suddenly, Patrick steps in, placing himself between me and Kadir's sharp blade. Ease off, Sheriff. Sheath your weapon. It's just misdirected aggression. Reserve its sting for the true culprits.
Perhaps. Perhaps you have a point, mediator.
Frozen, I watch the blade inch closer to Patrick's skin. Kadir, cut the shit, please. Enough is enough. They were there for us last night. Look beyond your fury. Recognize Kali for what she truly is. A blind tool in the scheme of a seasoned manipulator. Her death achieves nothing. It won't deliver Castle into our hands. It won't rewind the past. It serves no purpose other than to satiate your thirst for carnage. With enough kindred already lost, there's no need to add to the body count. I'm stuck. Fucking paralyzed. It pisses me off the way he's talking about me like I'm just a piece in their game. Even if it does it to save my ass. But I can't even tell if he's really trying to protect me or just using me to further his own goals. Kadir and Patrick are in standoff. Their eyes are locked in the battle of domination, but that damn blade hovering in the air speaks louder than any of their silent threats. The edge of that scimitar is so damn close to Patrick's neck. It's about to break his skin. Is mine, or is this stupid fledgling ends truly worth the fallout? Press on, see how Torque's cooperation become a distant dream. That gash across Patrick's neck looks like it could open up any second, but not a drop of blood shows. He's all cool and collected, the exact opposite of my hot mess. Stop this madness, challenge the sheriff, or say nothing. Shit! Sheriff, my ass, you out of your fucking mind! Kadir fixed me with a look so intense it felt like he could rip me to shreds with his eyes alone. Release her, Sheriff, just let her go. And then Kadir actually does it. He lowers his weapon. His old body shaking with anger is barely keeping in check.
Go. Now.
I get what he's saying, but my body isn't listening, like it's frozen in place, still trying to process the clusterfuck that just went down. How? How did this...
Get out before I change my mind! And never show your face in New York. Ever. Again.
Then I can suddenly move, almost stumbling from the abrupt drop in tension. My gaze flickered to Patrick's. There's something new in his eyes, a storm of thoughts I'd never seen before. But in that storm, I recognize regret, maybe even an apology. Whatever is genuine, who knows? This past few nights has been a real eye-opener just how much I've misjudged people. The chapter is called Eternal Sunshine on Naivete. One thing's crystal clear though, it's time to all ass out of this nightmare. I stumbled out into the night, my legs giving out under me until I crashed down on the pavement. Dragging myself up, I glare back at the entrance to what was supposed to be the New Elysium. The snow coming down hard now, much more intensely than earlier, covering the building in a thick white coat. Might have found it magical if it wasn't seething with rage. Fuck this. Fuck all of you! God damn it, how could I have been such a fucking fool? What happened to the charmer I thought I once knew? Was any of this shit real? Or was it all just some fucked up joke to make me the punchline of the entire fucking universe? And Patrick, so now I'm just a blind tool, huh? Well, fuck him too. But I bet his game. I get his game, I really do. It's just... it's just pathetically sad, is what it is. At least he has my back, which is more than I can say for Renard. I hope Patrick gets on in one piece. No. I'm done with this city. Should have bailed the second Renard, left me up to dry. My gang needs to hear about this shit show anyhow. Looks like I'm in for a long, remorseful journey. Right up my alley. Might as well drop in on D'Angelo. I owed him. It'd be nice to actually follow through on the promise for once. Anything's better than lingering in this dump. Okay. That after that, isolated parking lot. D'Angelo's bureau. Let's make a detour. Yeah, let's go see D'Angelo. I am halfway to the spot where I left my RV before I remember that not only I promised I would pick D'Angelo up on the way out to New York, but that he himself asked to leave together more than once. And D'Angelo, although his usefulness has been questionable, is the only person in this godforsaken city who hasn't lied to me, manipulated me, or used me. The only person who I still consider a friend. Agathot? For some reason it came to me, Agathot. I can't help but notice that the common denominator between all these people I used to call friends is none other than me. But I don't have the energy to burrow myself into a particular pit of despair at the moment. Anyway, my best boy D'Angelo deserves to have his promise kept, so I make a small detour and head towards his bureau. The sight I find is far from pretty. The whole space has been turned upside down, papers torn and scattered, corks board dismantled and toppled over, the bare light bulbs above the decks cracked. But from the lack of bullet holes, scorch mark, laceration, broken stakes, etc., I deduce that D'Angelo might have got out scot-free before any hunters laid their grubby paws on him. At least I hope he did. Look at the papers, look at the cork boards, look around. I'm going to look at the corkboards. Some of the recent looking pictures on the corkboards have been taken down and away, but few still remains. Most of them revolve about weapons being carted around the harbor, a huge lavish ship traversing the Hudson, a few skyscrapers among which I recognize both the circulatory system building and the double spirals. Where were you sniffing around, little Chandler, and where did he lead you? Well, nothing for here to loiter about. I turn around on my heel and head out, but a small smudge on the door catches my attention and stops me in my tracks. It's our code, the one Renard and I use, I mean. The symbol has been scribbled onto the door in a clearly unpracticed hand, and I can see the hesitation in the lines, but it's perfectly legible nonetheless. I understand it immediately, even though it's not one I use very often. Meeting cancel. All is well. I smile a little, seeing that chicken scratch, imagining D'Angelo riding the symbol onto the door in supreme focus, the stinky tobacco heater in his other hand. When some months ago D'Angelo wheeled me into teaching him out our secret language work, I didn't think it would come in handy. I told him to fuck off the first 7 times he asked, persistent little bugger. Then I finally caved in and taught him a single sign and told him to be grateful for it. And here I am, so happy you remember, not only the sign, but all to just put me at ease when he was undoubtedly fleeing for his own life. And he believed I would come looking for him the way I promised. Friends like this are rare these days. I'm so happy that at least for D'Angelo all is well. Alright, so he managed to leave the city on his own. Fuck the tower, fuck Reynard, fuck my caretaker too. I'm done. Out. With Khadir pulling all the Camarilla forces, there's probably no one left to guard the only dependable thing I have in this wretched city. My fortress on wheels, my mobile haven. I'm just now catching on that I've made it here. The haze kind of lifted, yet this emptiness inside isn't getting any smaller. If anything, it feels like it's expanding with no end in sight. For the moment, I push that feelings aside because there she stands, my ride or die, the one true escape pod from the dumpster fire of my current reality. Right now, this isn't just a car, it's the getaway driver in our heist movie, blasting us out of this shithole and onto the freeway of whatever comes next. Hey baby, your prodigal driver's back. What did they do to you, girl? Jesus, if only I knew, maybe I would. At least the damage is done to mostly my stuff. Thank God they left your tires alone and the engine's intact. Those assholes, wrecking anything that means something to me. It's alright, I'll take us home. You're going to be okay. I just need you to do one thing for me. Get me out of here. I just can't stay here any longer. I'm just crossing my fingers. They left the keys behind. The last thing I would want is to have to rip into you any further. I zip past the bunkhouse, left in the shambles from that intrusive Camarilla search, and vault right into the driver's seats. The comfort of the old beaten leather creaking under my weight is a small but welcome win. But that feeling's short-lived. The keys are predictably missing. I scour everywhere. The floor, the glove compartment, the door pockets, the sun visor, even the crevices of the seat. Zilch, zip, nada. Then when I catch it, the distinct jingling of car keys, coming from directly behind me. Oh shit.
Looking for these, I take it?
1,000 needles keep jabbing into my brain as I struggle to figure out what to say back. Could it be the sheriffs had a change of heart about taking me out in the picture? Hold on, I know that voice. I know it's deep down, even if it's all scratched up. God, could it really? Fucking Reynard! Bad week, huh? So yeah, he looks like Tony Stark with his suitcase, little mustache, goatee, sunglasses, white eyes. Seriously? Is this a joke? I must have shuffled up this immortal core back at Elysium and this is hell messing with me for kicks. Because why else would he pick this exact moment of all possible moments to stage his grand comeback?
Take your time, kid. I know it's a lot.
I can't get a word out. Seriously, why can't I speak? I've gone through hell and then some over this bullshit. And then I got through hell and then some over his bullshit. And now when it's my turn to lay into him, my voice fails me. And that smirk. What a pretentious jerk. Absolutely not. Not again. I just can't. I can't. You didn't show up. I know. I'm sorry, Callie. You should have left me a sign. Don't you look at me like that. Oh, why now? So what's different? Why choose to pop up now? Shifts in the game. You know how it is. Plus, I've been missing you. We lapse into an uneasy silence. He seems roughed up upon closer look, like he's been through the ringer, recovering from torpor or something. But his eyes hasn't lost their fire. In fact, they seem to burn even brighter than before. You look like shit. Breaking the bond will do that to you. Oh! He broke a blood bond. Oh shit, was he in the blood bond with Veritra? A bond? What's he talking about? How's Aisling holding up? The heart hole looks like a blast zone. It's a wonder only a handful didn't buy it last night. Did this asshole actually have the nerve to visit the Elysium ruins after what went down? The sheer fucking hubris, marching straight into the shitstorm like he owns the place, with the whole world on his tail, ready to glow. Wait, holy shit. You were there, weren't you? Where we almost got sniped? it could have clicked earlier. The dog. You were bounded. Reynard cracks a smile and lets out a soft whistle. Next thing I know, the Doberman I saw on the roof dashes in, tails wagging enthusiastically, and wraps itself around Reynard's legs. He playfully roughhouses with the dog for a while. You were knee-deep in that shit. After that ritual, I was hanging by a thread, but I couldn't just let you croak. Our clan, we're a rare breed. Gotta have each other's backs, remember? Oh, and you're really looking on for us now, huh? Beyond what you can even imagine. As the dust in my mind settles, it dawns on me. Why did he inquire about the Tremere region? It's not like they were close or anything. I don't think so, at least. Why the sudden curiosity about Aisling? I might have made her a promise that honestly I'm not planning to keep, so how's she doing? Most of the court got off pretty much unscathed, but Aisling, she's in a bad way. Like, really bad. I don't see her bouncing back anytime soon. Renner's brows relaxes. Well, I'll be damned. That's one problem we can scratch off the list. We? Does he actually think he can charm his way out of this? Not this time. He can take his act and shove it. Cut the shit, Reynard. There's no we anymore. Not unless you got a damn good explanation for all the garbage I dug up. He gestured a mock surrender, hands raised. Busted! Then he shifts and sprawled in his seat, settling into his usual mode for spinning yarn. Looks like I'm about to be treated to another story, a part of our old routine I know all too well. This feels like a domestic abuse, you know? Like a abused relationship, a toxic relationship. Listen, I know you've been poking around trying to make sense of things. I get it, no hard feelings. Survival's the game we're all playing. Fill me in on what you've uncovered so I can skip the boring parts. Initially, I vowed to keep my lips sealed. He's allowed the right to boss me around, but then, just like that, I'm an open book. He always had his knack, his uncanny ability to crack people wide open. Beats me how he does it, but damn if it hasn't lost its effect. So yeah, I spilled everything, barely holding back. Still save some stuff for myself. Gotta keep some cards close to my chest, just in case. I confess that the tower nabbed me over stuff I was clueless about. I threw him under the bus to buy some time. He nods in a silent commendation. I anticipated as much. He would pull the same move in my shoes. Then I bring up Patrick. Oh, so that little rascal you've been tagging along with, that caitiff pacemaker, huh? Why, you know him? Not personally, no. Just aware he's out there, taking shit from both sides. Yeah, right between the rock and the hard place. How's it be for you? He's... Look, it wasn't even... What I mean is, it's not fucking relevant anymore, alright? It's your story, kid. Spin it the way you want. Quickly push through of Patrick to back off my mind. I don't need that distraction right now. I tell Reynard that the circular system is hot on his tail. Their efforts intense and focused, all thanks to a leak from the freaking SAD. His lack of surprise irks me. Then I fill him on Jessica and what she thinks of him. Jess has always had her issues with me. It's like we've oil and water. But she never turned down the chance to cash in on our schemes. Read into that however you like. Anyway, it's a relief to know she's doing okay. I skipped a bit about bumping into Ellie Sensoric. Something tells me that intel best saved for later. I questioned Reynard about the arms dealing. Why even go there? Isn't our usual trade pulling in enough dough? And why with the mortals? Is it really related to the uptick in the hunter presence? He hums thoughtfully and pleads for my patience, a virtue I'm running low on, but I bite. Finally, I bring on Veritra, the Hudson Artarchus. I make it clear that I'm aware she's a force to be reckoned with, a genuine danger, and that Reynard is involved with her in some way. He hits me mid-rant. I've been practically shouting the whole time. I lash out, accusing me of keeping me in the dark, of not trusting me, of using me. But then I start to cool off. Unloading all of this really did help quite a bit. Still, it hasn't put out the flames of my fury. You really went the extra mile, kid. Color me impressed. He gives the dog another look. his brain obviously running some grifter's calculus. Alright, let's cut to the chase. You're in this as deep as I am, whether it suits you or not, but you deserve the full story, so grab a seat. We're in for a long haul. He slings his legs onto the table, settling into his narrating groove. I'm so gonna stake him at the end of the story and feed him to the Camarilla and get the fuck out of New York. Totally. This is so what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've been in cahoots with Veritra for over a year. All those covers up you've been running on the dark web, Veritra's fingerprints all over them.
I bite back my anger. Its time would come, just not now.
It wasn't overnight, but I managed to get on her good side. Just let me keep the exact how to myself. Let's just say it involved ferrying heads of mortals to her sailing enclave on the Hudson.
His voice took on exaggerated gravitas. Such a prick.
And then there's arming Aaron Fletcher with some serious firepower.
That Aaron Fletcher, why him? Or that's crazy risky. Jesus, why him of all people?
It's simple. He's loaded with cash and has a knack for swaying crowds with just a click of his tongue. Plus, there's the fact that public opinion doesn't buy a word he says. Veritra chose him because he's the type whose sudden death, should it come to that, wouldn't surprise a soul. It played out just as she predicted, sparking a major hunter assembly, all fueled by Fletcher's drive and, of course, his deep pockets. It worked a tad too well for my liking, as you've noticed.
Cast a glance at my healing wounds. Yeah, I noticed, asshole.
Fletcher's antics have turned NYC upside down these past months, wiping out Thin Blood, destroying a handful of kindred, rekindling the feud between the Camarilla and Anarch, even drawing in federal eyes wherever he treads.
What the fuck, Rainer? Why would you agree to fuel this chaos?
It's a tragically controlled chaos, kid. Sometimes, something at which Veritra excels. She's playing the long game, aiming to grab the city by its throat.
It can't be just that, right? His smile is sincere for once. Annoyingly, it reassures me that I haven't lost my mojo.
It's all smokescreen. She's after another prize, an ancient blood vial, currently in possession of none other than the Sad. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker.
He leans in, icy blue eyes gleaming.
This isn't just any blood. It's from Zapatasura. The Zapatasura. Our clan's antediluvian.
Zapatasura. Famulus? An animal of a collection of creatures that are blood-bound to a kindred through the use of animalism discipline. It's a familiar. Oh. RP? Domain Herald, yeah, or RP, yeah. Zapatasura. The Ravnos antediluvian who had awakened during an opening Guiana War event called the Week of Nightmares. During his waking, he was able to drain vitae from his clan from afar, driving many of them into a frenzy of cannibalism and destruction, effectively decimating his old clan. He met his end in Bangladesh to various parties under the noonday. The death of him via sunlight has forever altered the clan with fire in their veins. Oh. So because Zapatasura died with sunlight, now this old clan has that curse. Wow. So he was draining vitae from his clan from afar. And most of the clan went frenzy and went on a feeding frenzy of destruction and cannibalism. So they all died because he was feeding on his own clan. Zappa, what? So now you're a story buff, and what about it? Okay. Zapatasura, stay with me here, kid. and get up to speed with our legacy. His famulus cozies up to him, staring at me with relentless intensity. Gotta admit, I got a soft spot for that dog. And once I got close to Vitra, I bet it all on getting tasked with the heist. She's got resources, but still, it's a direct strike against our kin's most formidable foe. But hey, possible heists are my calling card. She must have said yes, otherwise you wouldn't be here dumping all this drivel on me. He grins, oozing cheap soap opera villain vibes. That's right. And here's a nugget for you, something I've kept on the wraps. Of course you did. There was a motive behind it all, Caddy. No point in sharing dreams that feels out of reach, fantasies just out of grasp. That vial? I had my sights on it before you came along. I knew it was somewhere on the East Coast, but Veritra pinpointed its exact location. But let me be clear, sharing the blood was never in my plans. Wow, what a shocker. I'll be baffled if he actually planned to let it go. So yeah, if he drinks from that vial, he's gonna gain some potency, he's gonna get some more regeneration after that. Some generation out of that. And he's gonna be strong enough to resuscitate the clan. He falls silent, lost in thought. It's rare to see him like this, and normally would snap back almost instantly. But not this time. This time is different. I was there during the week of nightmares, you know. Watch our clan nearly get erased, all at the reawakened hands of Zapatasura. I'm one of the survivors, and let's just say it left its marks. Feels like shit. I'm actually sorry. Don't sweat it, it's water under the bridge now. But that's precisely why I do what I do. Whatever Veritra plans to do with the vial spells doom for us, and we're already on thin ice. I won't stand by and watch. It's up to us, our clan, to carve up our destiny. That vial could be the key to pulling us back from the brink, ensuring we don't just fade into obscurity. You seriously think you can outplay her? The same kindred who sent New York into a tailspin with a flick of her wrist? It's no simple task. Veritra's sharp. Before sending me on this mission, she bound me to her blood to ensure my loyalty. Is this what he meant by breaking the bond? It was torture. Every plan I devised, her visage haunted me. It took me a bit, but eventually I managed to concoct a plan slick enough to pull the wool over her eyes. So, where's your big win? He scrunches his face like a child rubbed off his toy. That's the kick. Last night, just as we were set to breach the sad vault, Fletcher threw a curveball hitting Elysium. The goddamn mess put everyone on high alert as agencies scrambling to lock down their assets. The SAD decided to haul their stash out of the city. Classic, right? Oh, so you failed. Right. You're telling me your master plan flopped. All that shit, all I went through for nothing? I thought to dent his ego, but I clearly hit a nerve. No, we still got a shot. Here's where it gets interesting. The SAD's rolling the con board out under the New Year's fireworks, while everyone's eyes are glued to the sky. New Year's chaos is our cover. Everyone's gonna be looking the other way, popping champagne, while we'll be doing the heist of the century. I've laid the groundworks, but we need to improvise. That's where you come in. I sensed this was coming. The way he circled the story, I know his tactics all too well. I need someone sharp, someone with a knack for thinking on the fly, someone who doesn't just follow the script but rewrites it. That's us, Kali. We'll dance around Veritra's thugs and snatch that vial right from under their noses. So, what do you say? What do I say? Fuck you is the best thing that comes to mind, but I keep quiet. I'm clueless. All I know is I'm itching to deck him so hard his head ends up in what he is, at heart, an asshole. What he did, I don't think I could even forgive him. He's proven himself to be so utterly selfish, yet there's a part of me that can't deny that his insane schemes sound exciting. Think about it, Callie. It's not just about doing the job. It's about proving we're the shit. Fulfilling our true destiny. Suddenly, it hits me like a ton of brick. the truth of my so-called dear old sire. He's a murderer, the kind who wears white gloves, flashing a grin while weaving a web of lies, effortlessly cheating as if it were his right, and coldly shedding blood whenever it suits his agenda. A guy-sliding crook, ready to rescue his child only to betray her when she's no longer of use. How could I have been so blind, so ensnared in the illusion of Daddy knows best? Well, the joke's on me. But that's done. I'm not the person he thinks I am anymore. No more playing the gullible child. It's time to carve my own path, and who knows, I might just outsmart him in his own vile game. So, you in? What do you think, asshole? He flashes another one of those smug smiles, and that makes my blood boil, but I can handle it. I think you see the bigger picture. I believe you got the guts to put up with me a bit longer. I get your anger. It's justified. But let's do this last job together, and after, if you want me gone from your own life, so be it. I got a few questions first. Understandable. Fire away. What's in it for you, really? You didn't show up? Is very truly Black Hand. Does it matter if she's Sabat? I mean, I don't know. What the fuck is this? What's in it for you, really? You didn't show up? I don't get... Anyway. Rumor has it that Veritra's got ties to the Black Hand. The Sabbat? I haven't heard a peep that suggests she's in. Sounds like more smoke and mirrors from her. Just part of the web of lies she weaves to keep her moves hidden. She drains in fears and confusion like nobody's business. And if you're mistaken, then she outclassed me in that con game by miles. But no, in that respect, she's not even in my league. She's a strategist, one of the best, but she doesn't play our game. This is the one time I'm actually rooting for his arrogance to be on point. Have I managed to quench your thirst for knowledge? I used to struggle resisting his captivating nonsense, but I'm a changed woman now. It's a lot to digest, I get it. No rush, kiddo. Decide on your own time. It's all up to you. If you're in for the ride, catch me tomorrow night, 2 hours before dawn. We'll meet at our regular Chinatown haunt. I'll be waiting for you. He gets up and strides towards the black exit, with his fabulous training trailing dutifully behind. Remember, whatever you choose, we're still solid. Good seeing you, Kali. Take care. Yeah. The moment it's gone, I collapse onto the steering wheel. My thoughts are all over the place. I mean, jumping into this is clearly idiotic, isn't it? Yet the thrill of pulling off a major heist buzzes through me, overpowering my better judgment. Damn, my thoughts are a mess. Time to clear my head, figure out where to crash for the day. Hopefully Mato won't mind me bunking at his workshop. Feeding opportunity? The stash I promised Skylar is just around the corner. I really hate flaking out on promises, but damn, I'm starving here. I'm feeling like shit. A little sip from one tiny blood bag won't hurt anybody, right? I don't like to renege on the business already done. I really don't. But I'm alone, and I'm in a shitty mood, and the hunger is already slithering into my mind, taking over those few shreds of reason I'd rather keep for what's coming tomorrow night. So when it just so happened that I'm in the right neighborhood, I make a beeline for the stash I sold to Skylard for that short, memorable meeting with Jess. Much to my surprise, well, not really. I was kind of expecting it would happen given that Lady Luck decided to dump a steaming pile of shit right on top of my head. Skylar is already there, rummaging through my former blood bags. Hey, toss me one, will ya? She jumps up, startled, and nearly drops the goods she's been holding while turning around to glare at me when I approach and hit myself for a bag. I don't see any rings on your fingers. The hell are you on about? You know, give a thing and take a thing. to wear the devil's golden ring, the way the saying goes? I plop down straight onto the sidewalk and look at her incredulously. You mean the nursery rhyme? What are you, 3? Give a thing and take a thing to wear the devil's golden ring. Hunger decreases. She stands next to me but a careful distance away while I sip the god-awful thaumaturgically processed blood. A short silence hangs in the air like a brick. Alright, so yeah, I'm fed. You look like shit. That's pretty much how I feel too, so yeah, go ahead, laugh all you want, I really don't care. She does grin, but at least makes an attempt at concealing it. Guess she was raised better than I was. I would be rolling on the floor laughing at the misery of a person who kicked my ass mere 4 nights prior. So what happened? Did you find that Sarah of yours? I lost my head back and laughed hysterically for a while. Girl, it'd be easier to tell you what didn't happen. Talk about Raynor, talk about the hunters, or deflect. Oh, we're gonna talk about Raynor, the hunters. You heard about Elysium? Everybody heard about Elysium. I mean, what the fuck? Not that I pity the blue blood, obviously, but it's bad news for all of us. But on the brighter side, there's a chance that red-headed bitch got what's hers. Wait, are you talking about Valerie? Valerie? Nah, she got out just fine. And you know that how exactly? I was there. Like hell you were. I raised the bag in the mock salute. Right in the eye of the storm. A lot of good that did to me. She clearly wants to know more, but one look at my face stops her from prying. I get up to my feet, feeling slightly more in control, and pat off the dirty snow off my clothes. Thanks, I owe you one. I rummage in my belt bag and retrieve a calling card, all bent and messy with a string of numbers scrawled over it. I know you, Duskborn. I have it tough getting around the juicer suppliers, so here, my number. Give me a call and I'll see what I can do for you. I hesitate for a bit. Just give it a week or so. I've got some shit on my platter and I need to deal with that first. She takes it and looks down on it suspiciously. Which, hey, fair. Thanks. Are you gonna stick around in New York or... Nah, girl, I'm out of here. Try not to get offended at the relief that washes over her face, so I start waving my hands energically. Frankly, everybody should just take a hit and just leave. This city is starting to get straight up unlivable. You can't even take a step without getting shit from the Camarilla, the hunters, mysterious floating river cunts. No, sir, I'll pass on that. She finally smiles at me and tucks the calling card into her pocket. Wait, it was... I mean... Yeah, see you around. Or not. I turn around on my heel and hurry away, chased by the awkwardness of our meeting. Thankfully, I don't need to see any other frenemy tonight. 2 are already pushing it. Friends and places. I'm such a mess, I can't even put together one coherent thought. I need to rest, and the only place I can think of is Matos. But without Pedrick around, I wonder how welcome I'll be. So you weren't just bragging, huh? Mato gives my RV a thorough once-over, his gaze tracing every line and shadow of it. There's an unmistakable hint of desire in his look, but he keeps his hands to himself at least. It's quite something to all Ravnos roll in style like this. Couldn't tell you. We're too few and far in between to keep tabs on each other. Mato lapses into silence again. This sort of deep contemplation exterior doesn't seem to match his brawny exterior, but it's clear he's genuine. Otherwise, I might have sassed it off. Is it true what everyone's whispering about Elysium and all? Yep. He backs up when he sees I'm not keen on driving deeper. A rare kind he is. I should get going, but just one more question, right? Shoot. Is Patty okay? He's fine, I think. I don't want to talk about it. Last I saw him, he was fine. Dodged the worst of it, luckily. Relief washes over him. Thankfully, his best bud didn't catch the worst end of things last night. I sincerely believe Patty doesn't deserve your friendship, oh gentle giant. Alright then, the garage is yours. Get some rest, Callie. You look like hell. I'll do my best. He gives a nod, as if tipping an invisible hat, and strides away, but I left feeling like I missed something crucial. Mato? Yeah? Thanks, really, I owe you one. Forget about it. The goofy grin of his lights up, and he disappears into the building next door. Now it's just me. I thought zipping through the city at night might untangle my thoughts. Instead, it's knotted them together even tighter. Every sensible part of me screams to cut and run, to leave all this madness behind. But then there's that impulsive side, the one that's been leading the charge since day one, convincing me there might just be some merit to Reinhardt's crazy plan. If being a raven has taught me anything, it's that snap decisions are those that tend to work out for me in the end. I'm not gonna decide anything right this minute. For now, I'm out. I'll see what my head's at come nightfall.
Meanwhile...
So, this guy looks like Blade, but he's probably a Tsumitsu. This is a virtuous cruise ship.
I'm begging you, mistress. None of us saw that coming. It's just... maybe the lad's wrong. Maybe we shouldn't trust.
Silence!
Mistress?
I find no reason to doubt that bewildered boy. He may speak with defiance, but his hunger for what I've offered him is too great to forfeit. It is a bitter pill to swallow, but we have indeed been outmaneuvered. You shall bear the brunt of that mistake, of that you can be certain. But this moment is not for groveling, it is for action.
What should we do?
You and those two other imbeciles of yours remain integral to the scheme. Maintain your roles. Pretend as though nothing has changed, and be utterly convincing in doing so. Once you secure the item, dispose of the others involved.
All of them?
All of them. The reunion. Yeah, chapter 6. You wish to end the night?